What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Legacy Podcast episode 8. And in this episode, I teamed up with Naxx again. The team's back, we are back, and we're talking about the beta and the beta stress test and our impressions and what that means for the future. And we are also talking about what's going to happen after Naxx has been cleared on official WoW servers. And what will happen? Will there be extra vanilla content, or will there be TBC and Wrath of the Lich King servers? And so let's jump into the intro. I hope you enjoy. And Legacy's back, boys. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody, to the 8th episode of the Legacy podcast, actually, and it's revived from the ashes of its former glory, where we got some few peeps here in the chat. Full course here, Sorigal, you're live for the revival. Right, so we decided to bring back the podcast that we had a long time ago, right? I mean, we had it long time ago. I don't even know when the first one aired, but yeah, so we decided to bring that one back because now, we're in the stress test right now, live right here, and we decided to bring it back because there's actually something to talk about now. And the game is coming, so we are going to talk a little bit about the stress test, about the beta, our impressions, what other people did, and all that kind of stuff. And also we're going to talk about custom content after Naxx, or just additional content after Naxx. What the route is gonna be with Classic, if that's gonna be like if we'll have TBC or if we will see content after that. And with me is Naxx from the guild.
Hello,
as always.
yes.
Since this is live, right, streamed live, you can catch us at Mowsen Lel on Twitch. Just type in Mowsen, you'll find. And so welcome back. In case you didn't know, this podcast has been like around since Nostarius, I think. No, was it? Yeah, Nostarius.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's really old like us.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're here live in the North Sheer Valley, yes. And this is a stress test. So it launched yesterday, or this morning, for us European dudes. And it's been, I don't even know. It's been stressful. The servers have been stressed. Have you checked it out? Did you get an invite?
Nope. I'm sort of thinking that only if you have an active sub you can get an invite, but I'm not really sure.
You think? Well,
yeah, perhaps.
I mean, what happened was it was supposed to launch from 8 a.m. for Europeans until 3 a.m. So it ran until 4:30 actually, from 1 a.m. and we basically sat in a queue for 2 hours, and that was it. You would log in, be in the queue of 2k, and then you got in, and then you got disconnected, and you tried again. And we tried making characters, and if you got to the whole world was sitting in the queue. It was awesome. Everybody streamed the login screen.
Yeah.
And as soon as you got into the character creation screen, it wouldn't let you hit accept, and then character creation timed out. So we had to go back into the queue. And weirdly, like, big streamers always got in. I don't know why.
How come?
Yeah. But you saw it on Asmongold's stream, probably, like, he already put his tinfoil hat on, And no, I think we all were just, it was just being lucky. But certainly some accounts did have a, what's it called?
Prio list
of accounts that they would let in. So we're gonna try and level this character here to 5 and make it this, okay? So us EU plebs, we only have the stress test access right now. I have a account from 2005 March, and it was said that they have prior, but never lucky, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the stress test last night. It was rather disappointing, to be honest. I don't know. You tell me what you know about the beta and what you think, because I know you have somebody that got in.
Yeah, my
So
cousin got a beta invite.
Yeah.
He hasn't played it at all. I have played on his account though, a bit.
He hasn't played it? Oh my god.
No, he's not interested in Classic at all.
See, that's what I mean. Like, why is it? Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
why is it not like revoked when he doesn't log in or something?
Yeah, it should be like give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Okay, he played Classic quite extensively. He raided some bosses in Naxx, I think, and he really does not want to go back to it. But I think it's more like he doesn't want to get stuck in WoW again, because he fucked up his life pretty seriously by raiding that much. And I don't think he wants to do that again. I don't think it's because he doesn't want to, like he doesn't like the game. I think he likes it a bit too much, and he has no self-control. So I think it's more like that. But yeah, it's kind of stupid that, you know, and people who log in, like they have no idea what they're doing. Like haven't played Classic in 15 years, don't know anything.
Right, and well, that's people that have played it in the past probably. For them, it's a huge flashback. I watched some people play the beta, and you know, they came back from, they played back in the day a lot, and they had like really big flashbacks, and are that's exactly what they said. They said, holy shit, you know, I'm gonna be stuck in here again, and you know, I'm already in the mood for raiding again, and hey, let's revive this and that, and get this page back up. As a German YouTuber, and like, used to be, you know. Used to be like one of the big ones.
You know the dude from WoW Kata? I can't remember his name all of a sudden. He does. He made WoW Kata with some other dudes, and he did the podcast with Total Biscuit and the other Dodger, and he made a video. Like he also got into the beta, and he made a video because he's always been ranting against Classic. Well, not against Classic, but that he didn't like it, that he didn't want it. And he made like a video where he just turned completely 360 on that one. I was like, just, okay, really fucking love the game all of a sudden.
Well, the thing is, you know, it's interesting. Everybody has seen the method video of when Rookie and then Seju came out, and this is awesome, and here's why. But this comes all of a sudden, very, very, you know, this comes out of nowhere, and so I thought, right. I'm pretty sure that they actually enjoy it, because nobody wants to play something for 12 hours if you don't enjoy it, even if there's a hype going on for a game. Okay, there's probably people that would do that anyway. You know, they would go through the struggle and play in a game 12 hours a day because the money is good. In their position, you have to think that if they catch the hype and they just go with it, they're gonna earn good money anyway. So here's my tinfoil thing, right? No, not really. I'm just saying it's not completely unlikely that you know, because you haven't heard of these people before, really, and now all of a sudden, no, I mean, this is a really, really good game. I really enjoy it. It's so good, man. I just turned completely around. You know, I was so wrong, because they see there's a huge hype going on, and I think I'm not saying that's what, you know, Venruk or anybody did at all. I think, again, like, if you can't play this game if you fake it, because it will, you know, it's, if you don't like Classic, you will see that somebody doesn't like Classic. I'm just saying that I think a lot of people underestimated how big this thing is, how big the Classic thing is in general, and I think that a lot of people didn't want to, or they just underestimated it and didn't really think that there would be so many people going into this. You know what I mean? Kind of. Like,
I was surprised as well. Like, you saw the Twitch stream listings when World of Warcraft suddenly went to like the second most streamed game.
Yes.
Like some streamers with over 100,000, 200,000 viewers. I mean, that's more than many tournaments get.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Esports. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like when when all of these big streamers were done and they all hosted over to Asmongold, sure they hosted him, but like he got to 90,000 viewers, I think, and just get that, like in WoW. That I don't think WoW. Yeah, of course. Like he's one of the biggest, but I'm just saying, like this can happen. Like, and all the other ones had 9K views and 10,000 views and all that. I'm just saying it's huge numbers that were achieved, and I think that a lot of people didn't expect that. I'm very sure they didn't, and I'm very sure that a lot of people woke up and thinking, when the beta came and they saw, holy shit, this is really like a lot of people actually want this, And because before that, a lot of people had been bashing against, oh my god, you private server. And to be quite honest, this was... I know it's toxic in the forums, but one thing is right.
Oh, yeah.
Some dude posted, it's a friendly reminder that this was only possible because of the team of Nostarius and all the people that actually played private servers. I'm not saying, I'm not saying it's only because of that, but it's also because of that. And it was just funny because I just remember, because it's a perfect time to come back with this podcast, because back then, you remember too, it was funny how people just kept, shitting on people that played on private rooms.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically just called everybody a pirate that played on the private room. That's the truth of it. People just completely forget that right now. So I can see that there's a lot of people, and we can talk about who got access to the beta and and how justified is that in a little bit. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes I think a lot of people underestimated the hype that's gonna be there, and how many people actually want this, and not just for 2 weeks and then quit again. And I also think that a lot of people are still jumping the wagon because they think, oh shit, I gotta be part of this. I'm not saying like it's Van Rook or anybody. I'm pretty sure it sounded pretty honest what he said, and I can understand that he maybe wasn't such a big fan, and now he is.
And there's probably quite a few, like especially like mid streamers who streaming
BFA.
Well, Battle for Azeroth,
Yeah.
BFA, yeah. Who just ain't going anywhere with BFA, just not getting the success they wanted, and they see the classic thing and they just force themselves to play it. But I think also that a lot of people probably will get turned by it and will see the good in classic, at least for a while, and then they'll maybe hit a roadblock later on when they start running out of quests and they start finding the more annoying parts of vanilla, which we like, of course.
I can't find the LFR button. Oh my god, where is it? How am I supposed to find 40 people?
Can't find the entrance to the dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sorry Girl says Deadmines Run has 100,000 viewers, or had 100,000 viewers, and 55 more watched this video about it.
And he got like 3,000 subscribers or something.
Yeah, just get that,
That's a lot of money.
I mean, why you need to? I mean, we're not here to bash on anybody, but yeah. Let's just skip that part. But what I found funny was some people, when you checked who got the beta, and obviously we won't get the beta because, let's face it, we're a small channel. It doesn't matter, right? And if you're big, it's pretty clear. They communicated pretty big, like pretty big channels, like 5-digit YouTube subs. You can just get a beta key, and of course that makes sense, right? So I think we need to talk about that too. But some people basically the whole time shit on Classic in the past, and they said, it's nostalgia, it's rose-tinted goggles, it's pirates playing private realms, nobody wants it, and the game was shit. And you only have people that have their weird private server things going on, and they don't really know how it really was in Classic, and they will be very surprised when it hits. Kind of like acting as if like a private server was scripted completely garbage, and it wasn't. There's still a lot of guesswork, but it's not garbage, right? And it came pretty close. And so
it is pretty close.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but all, you know, a lot of these people, they got a beta access and all of a sudden they're streaming it. Oh yeah, I'm also part of this, right? No, you aren't really. You're, you know, but whatever. You know, everybody can make their own opinion about these people, and but yeah, I think it's the reach. You know, it's just the reach they have, and then the followers and subs they have, and to be honest, that makes sense, of course. But I'm just saying it's funny that how people turn all of a sudden, right? And let's see in a couple of months if they're still playing this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't quite understand why only subscribed people get beta access, because if like the one thing I like with the beta access is that it is actually a beta. It's not just a finished game that they show off for free for a while. It is a beta. There are lots of bugs in there, and they want people to find them and fix them, or not fix them, but report them. So I don't quite understand why only subscribed people will get that, because I don't think the most knowledgeable people about Classic are subscribed to the game. I think most of those are sort of like waiting until Classic comes out, maybe hang out on a private server or just not doing anything.
Right.
I don't think they play BFA.
The thing is that I see to be honest, well, first of all, what's right is they should just, of course, they should take the free marketing that they can get from big streamers. That should be, that's obvious. They can't skip out on it. But at the same time, I think what they did was, what I think was good is prioritize people that have a very old account. Although we didn't get in, but it's just unlucky, you know. I specifically asked the guy from Blizzard. He's like, yeah, you have a really old account from March 2005. So your chances aren't that bad. But don't get your hopes up because it's small. So, but still, what I think is they should get people in. Also, a couple of normal players. You know what I mean? Because, and especially these from back in the day, to see, hey, is this how it was? Because if you invite people that are subbed to BFA, which is kind of the you needed to be subbed in order to get it, right? I don't think that's a necessarily smart move.
No.
Because if you're subbed to BFA, chances are actually quite low that you're enjoying this and that you're actually interested in giving feedback instead of running in a circle like this guy here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and just being there.
Yeah,
like
just
experiencing it.
Yes. Asmongold did. Brodo says Asmongold did more than $10,000 or made more than $10,000 from that mines. Could be. Could actually be true.
Could be, yeah.
So yeah, what do you? I mean, I understand both sides, right? And they said don't get your hopes up. This is going to be a small beta. I'm just saying, and look, I don't really necessarily want to sit here and report bugs all day, and I think that it's what you should do if you're in the beta. And let's face it, it's level 30, everybody's seen it by now, and there's not anything, you know, it doesn't matter if you get in or not, it's fine, right? But I think that they should have gotten in maybe a couple of old school players, and what I also think, they should have made an EU version of the beta. Like a US and a EU version, because at the moment, being from EU, you can really see, you know, how many. I know it just feels like it, and I can't really prove this, of course, but it definitely feels like, you know, US has such prior over everything, getting the invites and all that kind of shit, and it's just frustrating. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people have written down their concerns in the forums, in the EU forums, and said like, look guys, it's fine, but again, it's pretty apparent that you know, you don't really care about this. Why didn't you make a EU server and a US server for the beta, and then everybody would be happy, right? You can send out more invites, and you can still shit on the EU, but you at least gave them a beta that they could hang out in. Yeah. And I mean, nowadays,
even during the actual vanilla WoW beta, they had EU servers, I'm fairly sure.
Yeah. And I think nowadays, it's not even that hard technically anymore, you know? Just have one server for EU, one for US, that should be fine.
Yeah.
So Chicks on Fire, hello in the stream, asks, how is Blizzard supposed to send out the keys otherwise? Giving access to inactive accounts? I mean, it's the easiest way for Blizzard, getting people maybe back to pay for the account. Yeah, that's what we said. True. We understand the reasoning behind it, of course. We understand the reasoning behind it. I'm just saying that they maybe could have revived people that... Look, a person that quit in 2007 because they didn't like the game anymore is not going to come back because you know, you require a subscription for the beta. But you could send invites out to these people that all have it and see if they come back. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you could say, hey, you've been you have an account from 2005. We would like to invite you to the beta of World of Warcraft Classic, and that would probably work. You know, if you check your emails, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's necessarily true. But of course, a mix would have been good. You know what I mean? And right now it's like a little bit in the dark who really got chosen. And in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? It's fine. We have a beta and people are testing stuff, and that's what matters really. So like the game is in focus, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that it could have been maybe a little bit different. And I just know a lot of people are very unsatisfied with the way it had been handled. But yeah.
Oh yeah, but people are... I mean, people will be angry however they will do it.
Exactly.
There will always be people angry, so...
They can't really please anyone anyway, let's face it. But I'm just saying they could have revived some of those old players, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm very sure a lot of people are hot for it, and you know, but maybe we're wrong. We don't know.
I would probably log in.
Thoughts on streamers and the crowd following them on the realms, good or bad? I mean, I won't play on a server with a big stream on it. Maybe you can say something first. I've been talking quite a bit.
So the thing is, like, with these big streamers, they will have a huge following, of course, and whenever they stream, the servers will melt down, because whether they like it or not, and I don't think it's the streamer's fault, but they will have so many people following them around, or, you know, counter on the other faction, so many people try to gank them. It will be just impossible to, you know, log into the server. There will probably be pretty big queues, and we saw like I think it's one thing, like if a streamer get like 1,000 views and it's like, oh wow, and he gets like a few people logging in and doing, I don't know, like a level 1 race down to Stormwind or whatever with gnomes. That's one thing. But if like these big streamers are getting tens of thousands, almost like over 100,000 viewers, that's a lot of people who will want to associate with them. Not 100,000, but like even like if only 0.1% of those watchers want to somehow associate themselves with the streamer, they will make a character on their server. They will level it up so they can do dungeons with them and become famous. That's one big problem, I think, and it's not the streamer's fault, of course. I mean, they can't really change it.
Well, you can't really change if people are following you like bots. I mean, but yeah, it's certainly a problem. But you know, that's for Blizzard to decide. The only thing that I don't think they should do is introduce more of this layering shit. I mean, earlier today already we have been going around, and all of a sudden, you know, Lumar just invites me to a group. I accept, and the people around me despawn. So in the starting area, I can understand that. I'm fine with it. But as soon as that shit comes into anything in higher, zones, any PvP zones, it just becomes a problem. And it would probably be the most convenient solution to Blizzard's problems if there's a lot of people following some streamer on a realm, to just layer it out, right? But just in general, I think we will see. We will definitely also avoid servers that have big streamers on them. But what if they change? I think it's just something that you have to... I've completely broke this vanilla.
But I don't think they will do that. Like I don't think they will have layers on just because streamers log on. Not after like phase 2 or whatever. I'm pretty sure that they will keep their word on that and just completely disable it.
The thing is, if they don't, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will jump off again, because that's one of the biggest parts of Classic. You know, this just like what always turned me off from like Legion and all that was exactly that. You could just, yeah, I'm just gonna hop through groups and be on different servers. Like, what the fuck is that? And that
so I don't think that will make it.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I'm also pretty sure that they're gonna.
I was a bit skeptic about maybe the AQ event that they will do that, and I think, but it just seems like they are so set on doing away with layering as fast as possible. So I don't think they will keep it in for any length, because people will go up in fucking flames if they do, and they know that. So they have to get away with it. I think also like the whole idea, like layering, like they actually did some special tech, like development to make sharding more friendly to vanilla, which could be alarm bells, right? Because they sort of tuning it to make it more like vanilla so that it might be acceptable to run. But again, I don't think they will.
Yeah, me neither. Sorgal says, there won't be layers when the world bosses arrive. They already said it. So we can be.
Yeah, they definitely said that, and I think they will stick to their guns. But people always, you know,
right.
They think.
Let's stick with the topic a little bit. We only got for this one. We don't want to make it too long, right? I mean, there's enough 3-hour podcasts out there, and we want to get this out more frequently again, and you know, instead not have it be 10 hours per podcast. So. Let's stick with the current topics, but of course everybody can ask questions. We can get some questions in at the end, quick ones, so just keep them coming. It doesn't matter. We'll pick them up afterwards, no problem. For now, so I think, you know, the beta topic is over. You know, we don't get any. They also said the waves have been over already, or are over. There's not really any more keys getting sent out at this moment. They got what they wanted, you know, player base wise and player numbers wise, and so I think it's pretty safe. If you haven't gotten the beta by now, you won't get it. But I might be. Yeah, I hope I'm wrong. To be honest, I hope I'm wrong, but it doesn't look like it. All I'm gonna say is, I think it's funny that's. Who all got it, and a lot of people aren't even using the demo, beta, not demo, as you just said, like your cousin, and it's certainly funny. And
it's kind of stupid. Like,
it's kind of stupid. Yeah. It is. It really is. But hey, what the good thing is, right? The good thing is, World of Warcraft actually reached 200,000 in the Twitch viewer accounts, and a lot of people are watching it. You know, everybody's hyped for it. All streamers are really having fun with it, most of them at least. And even you know, you can also see it in a good way. Like, even if they shit or shat on it in the past, they now seem pretty happy with it. And maybe it's because they realized, you know, how BFA is. Let's just put it that. It's worded diplomatic.
Yeah, I thought about like the streamer or the view count, like 100,000. That's like, or 100 to 200,000 if you see how many people watch these streamers, like not just one of them, but all of them. That's a good like 5 to 10% of the entire player base of WoW. So, and I doubt that many people that actually play WoW tune in to see these streams. So I think a lot of people who don't play WoW are watching this and will play WoW in Classic.
You think? Okay.
Because these streamers don't really do anything else than WoW. It's not like a big Diablo or StarCraft streamer or God forsake the Fortnite streamers or whatever. It's not like these people stream Classic and draw in lots of people. They're all WoW streamers.
Yeah, true, of course.
So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, in the end, what is really, really good is that, you know, the game actually picks up on viewers, and it's because of this. And that's very interesting to see for me, that it's because of, you know, Classic coming out. A lot of people are watching it and seeing it in the beta, and Yeah, Shroud got beta. Tim the Tatman. Yeah. Well, you know, it certainly makes sense for them to send it to Shroud. You know, maybe he'll take a look at it and then you have like huge audience. But I don't know if it's true or not. But I don't look. This is like a whole different topic. That makes absolutely sense for Blizzard to send it out to people with a big community. What I sometimes don't get is when, you know, the beta isn't being played and isn't touched. They could technically see that, and they could say, okay, this guy isn't logging in for like a week now. Let's give it to somebody else. Or you know, if you know people don't have anything to do with Classic and you have never seen them stream that before, why do they have it now? You know, and then they're acting like, yeah, wow, Classic hype. I don't even know what it is, but you know, it's
the new hot thing.
Yeah. Classic Royale, new content after Naxx. It's actually a very good thing you say there, chicks. That actually leads into the next topic, and we're just gonna keep it with that. So the hype is up, right? And then it's gonna come out at some point. We're all gonna play it, and at some point Naxx will be cleared. What happens after it? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen after Naxx? And
there are a couple of different ways to do.
Yeah, so there's two big options that players have been talking about and want. A is TBC, and then of course Wrath of the Lich King, right? Just basically say, okay, this is done, and after a while the portal opens and you want to go TBC. What I can also see, but that's like a different thing for me, is that they open up fresh servers at some point. But I just think that could be possible in any case, right? In any case.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a couple of rumors out. But what I don't really see, like I wouldn't mind TBC, to be honest, and I wouldn't mind Wrath, but I can't really see them doing it. And the reason for that is I think they're also going to take a look at old school RuneScape, right? And what I think is when they get out, or when they bring out TBC after Naxx has been cleared, they're basically killing off the classic shit again. Kind of. They're like taking away relevancy from it and then putting it into TBC. And then, you know, half of the people that were interested in Classic will say, okay, TBC, I'm going there. I personally probably would, maybe. I mean, I rated so much there, I don't really need it. So I wouldn't be that interested in TBC. I would probably look at it, but like the hype would be nothing compared. So you would already split the community of Classic and like the old school community, or people that are interested in not the current WoW. And then what if TBC is done? You bring out Wrath, and then you stop at Wrath, or are you gonna want Cataclysm? And you can see that it's gonna be less and less people wanting this. So I can only see really TBC and Wrath, but you will have people saying, no, Cataclysm was the best now. Now I want to continue, right? And so I can't really see Blizzard doing this or thinking it's a good idea, aside from TBC and Wrath. But I can also see that it's gonna be, I don't know if they're going to go through the whole, you know, hustle again of doing the same what they did for Classic for TBC again.
I think it will probably be quite easy if they can get the Classic server up and running and everything's running smoothly and bug free and all that. Just porting it over to shouldn't be that hard, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a server engineer. But it seems like it would be pretty easy. But I think
well, they need to,
because just from like watching subreddits and discords and so on, and streams and whatnot, seems like a lot of people are much more interested in Burning Crusade than vanilla. To a lot of people, Burning Crusade was like the peak of WoW, Burning Crusade or Wrath. Some say Wrath, but Burning Crusade definitely. It seems like it is a really good expansion. I hardly played any of it, so I would definitely go to Burning Crusade. But I also think that a lot of new people would, and I think also if Blizzard said that we will do Burning Crusade after Classic, those people will probably also play Classic because they don't want to like start out level 1 in Burning Crusade.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe.
Now okay. So you would say they might be doing it because a lot of people would love it. The thing is, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people would maybe like it, but I'm pretty sure that not everybody would follow, and I can't really see that.
Not everybody, no.
I can't really see that. Yeah, this was the best expansion. It's an expansion, but I mean, what Chick says, maybe they split it. They set up new TBC servers and let the classic servers running as well. So that's the other option, right? The other big option. So this is TBC, continue with the add-ons, and the other option is, like old school RuneScape, make new content in the style of classic or classic after Naxx has been cleared. And of course, you're not gonna, oh, okay, Naxx is cleared. Now we have an LFR in classic. That's not what I mean. There's so much room in the world. There's a lot of options for this, but make classic style content for classic after that. And maybe they just do this too and then launch TBC, but I can't really see them do that. So I don't know. And I heard Ian Hazukosa wasn't such a fan of making more content for classic, because making more content creatively, is, I think, a lot of effort for them, and they need to invest. So I don't know. But I personally would prefer that one, because I like classic, and I just see that once you release TBC, it's going to be a lot of hustle to do it, and it's just an add-on, right? Then again, they have the base of the classic servers that just also needed to add it on. So I can see it maybe running both. Now, but the thing that I think is interesting, they could go down the route of old school RuneScape and have fresh servers come out that don't have the content yet at the start, and add to it after Naxx has been cleared. So that would always give you this fresh. They would cater to the fresh dudes. They would give people, or the investment they did into the classic thing would be much more worthwhile, because they would keep it alive essentially with new content coming out. And to be honest, it wouldn't even have to be that much coming out. And I'm not talking about, the first thing people will say when we're talking about like extra content would be, well, what do you want to do? Next gear is already so overpowered, you can't really add anything. Well, I'm not talking about making like a tier 4 set, right? That's so overpowered that you're just gonna one-shot everybody. I'm not talking about that. Get your mind off another raid tier to start out with. Because if you open up the map, okay, let's just do this. You can see here, for example, in between Eastern Plaguelands and the Hinterlands, right? All this area up here, for example, is pretty unused. All these mountains here, inaccessible and unused. And, behind Tyr's hand, there's nothing going on, really. As you can see here, like, the whole coast is unused. In general, in vanilla, all of the coasts aren't really used, especially on the backside of the continent. So if you're imagining blasted lands, the coast, you can't really see it. And I know some of this is in retail, but, Swamps of Sorrows, if you swim up here, for example, Red Ridge Mountains, there's a really cool area here, right? A really cool bay and everything. Same for the Burning Steps, right of the Burning Steps, there's nothing there. This whole area, for example, is unused. So if you just fill everything from up here to down here, with content, like the coast, and just like an idea, I think I said this before, but like Tanaris, the Steam Weedle Port, make like a ship go from here to, I don't know, Tyr's Fall Glades to the left side here that's unused, or to, like a blocked off area of Gilneas or some shit. or even from Tanaris to South Shore, or I don't know. It doesn't really matter where it's going exactly, or like to the backside here to the Stonard or like the coast town here. Some shit, you get the idea. But just adding that with a couple of quests, maybe a set you can farm, like a blue set or some stuff, anything really you can imagine. If you look, like we're right here in Northshire, right, or Northshire, and whatever you want to call it, but this area up here, like the river, make this accessible. All of these mountains, just make it accessible and place, nodes there, like herbs and mining nodes and everything, so people can actually go into the mountains. I think that's what I don't know if I'm alone. I can't be alone with that, because a lot of people have asked for this. All of these areas are just so inaccessible. And if you're looking at the area in between Stormwind and Ironforge, we could go on with this for hours, right? So what do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, like, you can't add more raids after Naxx, because, I mean, you're already
I disagree, but yeah.
I don't think you can add like an Emerald Dream raid or whatever, because people will just be way too powerful, and you're already hitting some caps with the gear. Like for some classes, you can't really add more crit and hit because you're capped. So I don't really think that's such a good idea. But if you could make a new server and you can come up with all sorts of new content. You might even include some of the TBC content, like have Karazhan in there. Make that a questing zone. Have Karazhan as a 10-man or a 20-man, and have maybe Zulaman. Add that to it, and also just all the other areas with some quest zones. Have new dungeons, all that stuff. You can also just fiddle around with the dungeons you already have. So instead of dead mines being the dead mines we all already know and everybody knows, fiddle around with it, put in some new bosses, some new,
that's a good idea,
something like that. And especially when it comes to raids, I feel like when Molten Core comes, like we all know exactly how to go through Molten Core. Switch that around, get some new bosses in there. That could be cool.
That's what I meant. Now you just had another idea, so you can see actually Chicks on Fire had a good idea here as well. This is this is what I mean. Like, we're 3 people right now. Just in 10 minutes, we can already brainstorm like 1,000 things. Important is that it stays in the classic spirit. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to be classic. So Sorrigal said then it's not classic anymore. But that's what I mean. If you just take this world, this is classic, right? And if you build on this, the islands in the center, all of that kind of shit, you can do a lot of things. It doesn't really matter now. But there was a lot of scrapped content, so even the creative effort they would have to do isn't even that high, because the whole zone of Ashara, for example, is there and it's fucking empty. You know what I mean? And you could just put in whatever you think, right? And even a new like 5-man dungeon. I don't know. I don't know. A PvP zone, something. I can, they have the scrap battlegrounds here in the center. So there's a lot of stuff laying around that they could just take a look at and think if they would revive this, and it would be in a classic style. Also, what Sorrigal said though is new content could be on a separated server that has like add-ons, right? And I don't know, but yeah, a couple of things might be possible. I'm just saying it's, and I know that they said it's not off the discussion that they would do that. Maybe they're taking a look at it, and they could see that happening. Although Ian didn't want to do it at first, but yeah.
It's a very hard position as well.
I think he saw the potential.
Yourself into. Yeah. Like, what do you do? Do you release a new expansion? Do you just reset everything and make it seasons like Diablo, or do you
that would
make
be the worst though. I think that would be such a big turnoff for so many people.
Yeah, that would
just imagine. Really not in classic, man. You got your Thunder Fury. Oh well, next week it's gone. New season. Good luck. I can't see that happening. I can only see 2 things happening.
The rankers, man.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Got rank 14 and then back to 0.
Exactly. I can see the original servers going into TBC and then servers launching with additional content. That's what I could see. And you can You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I would like the
because then
most,
you basically separate the people that want different things. I think that would make sense. Also, Chick said they could add hard modes. You know?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
Could be a thing.
typically saying you could make if you take a look at the 5-man difficulty, like Skolomance for example, and you put some players in there that haven't really done it, it's gonna be hard as it is. But if you could make that in like a hard mode, that would give you, I don't know, just, you know, more rep or something. It doesn't really matter what it gives you, but you know, you would have a hard mode or even like a MC hard mode where you would have additional epics dropping, because that's also one of the things from Classic that's kind of a little bit annoying. You know, you kill a boss and there's like 2 epics in there, 40 people. And if you could say, okay, well, we're doing it hardcore or like hard mode, and it's, you know, they get like or they just deal more damage and have more life. I don't know, you know, just, I have no idea, but you get another and like 1 additional epic. It can't be such a huge reward because it, you know, it should be that you want to do it. But that's also I could also see that coming, like a hard mode or raid not different raid difficulties. I think you should be able to just do like a hard mode, I don't know, either like once a month or some shit. But maybe it should be there, but it shouldn't. I don't want to get back into this fucking you know, it's after all, it's still Classic, and I don't want to have like kind of a, you know, we're doing Molten Core normal and we're doing it hard. You know, there should be one.
Yeah.
There should be one difficulty, I think. So, you know, it's still kind of a no changes thing that I want, but I can see stuff being added later. But what you said, add additional bosses, so you wouldn't really touch anything.
Not mechanics wise, no. But that's also one thing. Like if you go to old school RuneScape as an example, I think they are the first one who sort of went back and did a Classic server before Blizzard did. And what they do there is that they have sort of an election, a votes on what to do, and they introduce new content that way. So that could work as well. I mean, you could have like, okay, so do we want new talents, for instance? Let's have a vote.
Yeah.
Do we want to remove the stupid talent for mages that give them way too much hit? Do we want to fix Ignite so they don't come too OP? Do we want to remove Frostbolt so all they can do is make water like a real mage? I vote yes.
Okay. You vote yes, okay.
But and you can do some things like with Paladins as well, like make ret a bit more viable. You know, there's tons of stuff you can do.
It is viable, come on. All right, yeah, I see what you mean. You know, there's so many things. But yeah, the voting can also be dangerous because, you know, if you say, well, don't we want a dungeon finder? And then maybe you have enough people saying yes. Oh shit, you know, and then it's in.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically how WoW has developed. Like
exactly.
They listen to their community, and the community wants faster paced content, and you have to do less to do the content.
Yeah.
And
so
that's what brought
I don't
us
know
BFA.
if that's necessarily a good idea, to be honest, to have that.
I don't know how it works out for RuneScape though.
Yeah.
Maybe we could look into that.
Yeah. I think there's definitely possibilities, but yeah. Chicks on Fire says Classic Battle Royale, calling it now. Mark my words in 4 years. Holy shit. Please no. You know, just personal preference. I would love to see some sort of thing going on. I could see like. Just look at Mount Hyjal, right? It's a basically done and made zone that you just need to use. So I can see them doing that because the stuff is there, and they can. I mean, they're not stupid. They could see that they have all this stuff there that they basically just need to fill with something, and they would have you know, prolonged the life cycle of their product. And on top of that, maybe bring out TBC for everybody that wants to continue into that.
I have another suggestion as well.
Mm-hmm.
So after maybe like this is maybe way in the future. So let's say they go Burning Crusade, they maybe go Wrath as well. But once all this is done and people have experienced it all, why not do like Star Citizen will do with their servers and just open up the client so people can mod the servers themselves. So
the
you
best
can
stuff you bring in.
Yeah, so you can actually completely redesign the world, and you can have stuff like have a server, and also they do it with Overwatch. Like you have such tools to create almost an entirely new game, and just open that up so that people can make a vanilla server where just make like an Ascension server, you know, classless. There are no classes. You just pick your abilities, like a real Skyrim-esque RPG, or you can have like a server that is only for PvP, or you can have a server where there are completely new raids, new content. There are so many choices. Just open it up, make the community make servers for you, and still tie it to the subscription. So the subscription still gives you access to just World of Warcraft, this nebulous World of Warcraft, and that is BFA, and that is all the classic stuff, and also all these custom servers that people design for it.
Mm-hmm.
That could
I
be
see
cool.
what you mean. Yeah, like pretty much open up the modder community to give good ideas, and then you could basically see finished stuff, and the best ideas would be like implemented or something.
No, I think people can design the servers themselves. Like you have people who designed like Ascension. Couldn't they do something similar with the toolkit? I mean, look at the new server mods for Overwatch. There is such incredible stuff they do there, and that's a very limited toolkit they can use. People are very skilled at this. I think they can pull off some pretty amazing stuff.
Interesting thoughts. Yeah, yeah, why not? I can see that. Yeah. I think there could be a lot of cool things coming out of that, to be honest. The other option is, I mean, there's a lot of options actually. You can make everything PvP. You can make people lootable or some shit, you know, because Chicks just said to drag away from the PvE only. I was a big arena player early in Wrath and TPC. Same here, and so I can. What I found cool in Albion was, for example, Albion Online, was that you would have to, in order to gather resources, like high tier resources, you'd have to have like a, you know, people that have their whole inventory free as gatherers, gather that stuff, and then escort it to your base. And they would have to have like a PvP squad around them so they wouldn't get ganked and looted, right? So if you could loot people. And what I can also see is, you know, I think that was a thing that was never really in the game, but a lot of people would have liked that you can actually take zones for your faction. So let's say you can't take like Teldrassil. Yeah, like take them in PvP. So you can't take Teldrassil, right? And you can't take Darkshore, but you can take Ashenvale, for example, as the Horde. Or you can take the can't take Durotar, and you can't take really the Barons or something. You know what I mean? Or not Ashenvale, but I mean Ashenvale is pretty contested. Would make sense there. All of these things, and then you would have to bring, you know, resources to your base and allow, you know, base building or some shit. I don't know. Player housing is still a whole thing that they could introduce for Classic. The possibilities are, yeah, they're there.
I think actually, like if you go back and listen to the very first episode of Blue Please, I'm fairly sure Total Biscuit says something like you can total up the wins every day in Battlegrounds and move the borders accordingly. And so Horde can go in and take over Astronar and so on.
Exactly.
So it's an idea that definitely has been around for a while, and which means could be polished and it could be implemented. It could be fun.
You could also move that into, you know, you could leave everything as it is and move that system, for example, into Mount Hyjal and into, I don't know, like in another zone in, I don't know, maybe like Gilneas or something, you know, it doesn't really matter, but like another zone that hasn't been opened yet, you know, Ashara and Mount Hyjal or so. So like if your faction wins all of the battlegrounds on your server all the time, then you take control over those zones because you can, Ashara Crater Battleground, you take over the zone actually once you're out of the battleground. It would also encourage you to play Battlegrounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like Ashenvale would be tied to Warsong, Ultrarak would be tied to, I don't know, whatever, Hinterlands, I don't know. This doesn't really matter, but, or like Eltrack or, Hillsbrad. I have no idea, but there's a lot of options. So if you win those battlegrounds all the time, then you have more access or more guards in the zone or something. Or you would get a bonus on gathering nodes or something. With gathering mining nodes or herbs when you have control over the zone. So there's a lot of possibilities. This is just when we just talked about it for a couple minutes about content for a classic in a classic style coming out later. So as you can see, there's a lot of potential, but I'd be interested to know what people think.
Yeah.
I think that wraps it up. We have to go get ready for a certain raid. So, was there any more questions? Well, it was just chicks saying, Classic Royale all the time. I just hope not.
But I'm fairly sure there was a server, like a private server, that did Classic Royale. Like you spawned somewhere and you looted like a chest and you got some items. Like some food or some basic items, green items or whatever.
Yeah,
and then you killed each other.
Yeah, it just can't be like the thing that you usually do. It could be, they could revamp the ZG arena a little bit. In that regard, or just put something into Hyjal or something, like get the skeleton of Archimond in Mount Hyjal, so just spawn something there every couple of hours randomly or so. And you could even have a new world boss spawning around the tree, like a demon coming in trying to retrieve the bones or some shit, I don't know, of Archimond, and I don't know, it's so many possibilities, but we gotta come to an end. It's 1813, and for the first time in history, we would have stuck to the schedule. That would be awesome.
Indeed.
I'd say let us know what you think in the comments when it just goes up to YouTube. What kind of content you could see coming, if you you say no. To be honest, there's a big, there's problems with this. We shouldn't do it. Just let us know. Fuck the schedule. Yeah, we want to make more. We don't want to get burned out and make more episodes, right? So I would love to drag on this podcast for another 30 minutes, but we've done that in the past, and I don't want to put too much. I want people to be able to listen to this without it being 2 hours for the start again. We can make events later and shit, but yeah, let us know what you think in the comments about extra content, or should it be TBC, Wrath, Cataclysm, Mist? Do you want Mists of Pandaria?
Ooh.
Do you want a quest line in Mount Hyjal to cleanse the corrupted Ashbringer you gotten from Naxx? I don't know.
That could be cool.
This could be. Do you want to actually use your Atiesh for like a below Karazhan raid or something? I don't know. Karazhan before it was opened in TBC? You get the idea. Do you want to say anything else? Otherwise, I would say that's good for the first one in months.
Yes, it's been a while.
Been a while, man. Give me Skolo Man's Mythic Plus. I'm quitting.
It's almost Mythic Plus. Like when you do it at the gear level you're supposed to do it, it's really fucking hard.
Yeah, it is. But man. We're just dragging on, man. You could, if you finish like a dungeon, you could get like a thing, kind of a key, but don't drag it on to like 15 levels, right? Just have it, you get a key and then you can do it in hard mode or something. Or you need to gather 3 ones and then you can do 1 hard mode or so. And if you fail it, it's gone. Basically. There's so many options, I don't even know. But I think they could really look at a lot of games and see, okay, this worked here. We could maybe do something. For me, very important would just be, it's gotta be classic style, right? It needs to be like, you would have to be able to say, yeah, this could have come out in 2006 instead of TBC. You know what I mean? This looks like it was a patch in 2006 before TBC hit. That's important for me, and it needs to be vanilla and classic.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Stream, I'm not going anywhere. We continue the stream. I'll just restart it so that we have this as a separate episode. Thanks very much for watching Legacy Vanilla Podcast episode 8, and there's more coming. Stay tuned. If you liked it, please leave a like and consider a subscription. And also, if you want to catch us live again on the Twitch stream next time we do this, feel free to surf over. And we are recruiting for English, EU, PvP realms. If you are interested, join our Discord server so that you see where we're going to go. Not on Asmongold's server, that's for sure. So, but he's US anyway. We won't really be in.
And sort of popping as well, right? I think.
It's also US, yeah. So we'll be EU, English, PvP. Thanks very much for watching, and bye bye.